Hi guys, so this is the third time I've tried to film this video. It seems that everything happens at once when I'm trying to film this video. First time my tea, the thing that I have my camera on because my tripod stinks, so I have it on this precarious thing, tipped over and it fell down, and this is now the handle of my mug. So that happened, and then my chair, the second time my chair. So apparently it doesn't want me to film this video, but we're going to try to film this video anyway. So I have compiled, there's 36 questions here, and I'm going to try to answer them all for you. So this is for Halloween / soon, but it's mostly Halloween because that's what I found. So let's go with my favorite fall drink. So, here in Ontario where I live, Canada in general actually, there's this little coffee shop, actually it's more of a chain franchise type thing, called Tim Hortons, and they do a bunch of different things. They do sandwiches, food, all sorts of things like that, pastries, but my favorite fall drink from there, and one of my classmates years ago got me drinking this instead of getting a London Fog, which is Earl Grey tea with steamed milk, kind of like a latte version of it. I get from this Tim Hortons, because it is cheaper, I get a large Earl Grey tea, 1 bag in, with a shot of vanilla, and then you get it how you normally get your tea. So I get mine with 2 milk, 1 sugar, and that is what I get to treat myself. So that is my favorite fall drink, I guess, because I don't really treat myself unless it's fall or winter to that, and even in the winter I don't treat myself to that one specifically. It's mostly during the fall that I prefer that drink. So yeah. Question number 2, my favorite fall food. I don't really have one. I love soup. I didn't used to. I like making it. And I mean, so long as it's some kind of form of food that I like, and it's warm, I tend to enjoy it. My fondest memory of fall. When I was little, and we would gather the leaves at the front of the yard. There wasn't enough leaves for me to really jump in, but I tried, you know, just to throw them around and kind of annoy people with them. That's my fondest memory of fall, always doing that, or going to the pumpkin patch and picking out my pumpkin for Halloween. So yeah. Your favorite part about fall? If I had to pick one thing, I would say being able to cuddle up on my sofa with a book and hot chocolate and not feel bad that it's 90 degrees outside, that it's cooler and I can actually justify sitting up with my cozy socks and all bundled up. Your favorite fall tunes? I'd have to say anything Halloween. As soon as October 1st hits, the Halloween tracks come out, and I'm starting listening to all of those good oldie Monster Mash, you know, Ghostbusters theme song, things like that. And I love listening to Halloween music, but I do curb myself for just the 31 days of Halloween. Your favorite fall outfit? Anything that's comfy. I love, and I seem to gravitate towards this one outfit. It was my grandmother's old sweater. It's green. You may have seen it on this channel. I don't know if I've posted in it, but it's just green sweater. It's a little see-through, so I wear a tank top or a long sleeve underneath depending on how cold it is, and black leggings and these I think I got rid of them, but they were so cool. These Converse stiletto boots, and I would wear that as an outfit, and that was like my favorite outfit ever during the fall. My favorite Halloween movie. My favorite Halloween. That's a tough one. I like horror. I do. I would have to say my favorite horror Halloween movie. Well, not horror movie would be The Conjuring. My favorite Halloween movie, I have two. It would be Hocus Pocus or Halloween Town, the first three. I didn't like the last or two. I didn't like the very last one. That wasn't my favorite, but I liked the other Halloween Towns. So those would have to be my favorite Halloween movies. Your favorite Halloween candy? I'm not much of a candy person. I prefer chips and anything salty and savory and things like that, which is funny because I used to be all about the sweets. But if I had to pick one Halloween candy, it has to be those little Mars bars. I love Mars bars. Yeah, it would have to be those Mars bars. My favorite fall activity. I love walking. And I mean, I like doing it in the summer too, but I love walking or adventuring and seeing the leaves change and the variations, because you could do the same walk 3 or 4 times and get different trees that have started to turn yellow and orange and reds, and it's beautiful, and I love it. I love that about fall. Do you prefer Halloween or Thanksgiving? So in Canada, Halloween becomes after Thanksgiving. But I do have to definitely say that I prefer Halloween over anything, really. I mean, I like Christmas, but I go a little bit crazier for Halloween than Christmas. And my birthday just gets sadder and sadder every year. Apple cider or hot chocolate? In the fall, it's more, I tend towards teas and apple ciders. In the winter, more of the hot chocolates. Like I said, I prefer the apple cider. I'll put like a little sprig of, I usually do cinnamon, and it's delicious usually. Candy corn or regular corn. I have bad teeth. And I have very sensitive teeth. So I prefer regular corn. I love regular corn. My favorite fall scent. And my favorite fall candle. These are more like the same thing. My favorite fall scent would have to be just the leaves, like the scent of fall itself. I know this might sound strange, but I can smell when the seasons are starting to change. We're starting to cool down, become winter, or warm up and become spring. And I love the smell of that. I don't know how to pinpoint one specific scent, but just that scent, like the crisp scent of fall kind of thing. My favorite fall candle. I don't really have a favorite fall candle. No, I don't think so. I tend towards the more evergreeny, patchouli smelling things. I'm not really big on, like, Yankee Candle has these things called autumn wreath and stuff like that. That's not really my favorite thing to smell. They smell kind of off to me. Your favorite fall sweater. Well, I think I already described that in my favorite fall outfit, because it is my favorite sweater. Because in fall here in Ontario, it could be 20+ degrees some days and negative, well, not negative, but 10, 12, 13 degrees at other days. So you have to kind of keep both your summer and winter closet at hand during that time. It's definitely an in-between. It's definitely an in-between. Do you go to corn mazes, pumpkin patches, or both? I haven't been to either lately. I have been remiss. We don't really have, but I used to go to a pumpkin patch that had a corn maze as a kid, and I loved it. I loved anything fall related. What are you going to be for Halloween? This one I've been contemplating too. Usually I know by the end of September, and I still have no idea. So that is going to be a completely different vlog in and of itself, is finding my costume. So stay tuned. Do you go trick-or-treating? I do not, no. At 29, I could still technically pull off going trick-or-treating, but I tend to gear towards celebrating Samhain rather than Halloween as I get older and older and older. I mean, my other half has a kid, so he'll go trick-or-treating, and I mean, when we eventually have kids, we'll go trick-or-treating with them, but I also want to, you know, integrate them into my practices as well. Uh-oh. I've lost. Okay, there we go. Do you go to haunted houses? Yes. There is one in Toronto. It's a bit of a drive for us, but there is a building called Castle Loma. It is an attraction in Toronto, and they do a wonderful haunted house. I also live near Canada's Wonderland, which is also in the Greater Toronto area, and they do what they call Halloween Haunt, which I guess that would be, some of them would be corn mazes, but I don't think of that as corn maze because it's in an amusement park. I don't know. Do you watch scary movies? If so, which is your favorite? I think I've already covered that. My favorite horror movie is The Conjuring. Yes, I do watch scary movies. Now, mind you, in The Conjuring 2 that came out some years ago, I did almost fall asleep in the theater. It has to be really scary and not cliche in order for me to stay awake, so I'm a strange person, I do realize this. Do you prefer roasting marshmallows around a campfire or cooking sausages? I don't like sausages, so there you go. I like roasting marshmallows, but that's always been a summer thing for my family because we go to our cottage and then we go take picnics and have campfires and roast marshmallows and make s'mores and things like that. So that's less of a Halloween thing and more of a summer thing for me. Okay. On to the next question. What am I doing for Halloween? Like I've said before, I don't know if I work, so I may work on Halloween. But I tend to celebrate Samhain rather than Halloween. I honor my ancestors and things like that. You've just seen that in my first video. Are you dressing up this year? Oh, this is another, kind of repeats itself. Favorite pumpkin-themed food or drink? I love pumpkin pie. Love pumpkin pie. Are you superstitious? Depends on the superstition. I mean, if a black cat walks across my path, I don't think that's bad luck. I think the cat is going somewhere. Actually, I think that's good luck. Do I have any Halloween traditions? I celebrate Samhain, so I honor my ancestors. We do the silent supper, and I usually, but like I said, this year I'm not doing my altar, but like, I guess I'm making this a tradition. That's 31 days of Halloween a tradition now, because this is the second year I have done this. Could you handle the night at staying in a haunting building? Done there, been there, done that. Got the t-shirt. My friend lives in a haunted house. And boy, do I have stories. And you'd think, you know, some of you think, you know, oh, she's crazy, it probably was just this, that, or the other thing. Trust me, we've tried to debunk everything. And literally, like, some can be debunked. And when things happen, we're like, okay, it's probably this, not this. And then we'll go deeper into it and be like, it wasn't that, and I don't know what it was. So, yeah, no, I can stay the night in a haunted building perfectly fine when you hear, you know, feet walking up and down the stairs at 3 o'clock in the morning at your best friend's house as you're sleeping on the couch. Yeah, that happens. My most memorable Halloween costume. I would have to say there are two. The first one being, well, three. I had this little, I don't know which it was first. It was either a lamb costume or a bunny costume first. And my mom made it. And she then made the other one out of the other costume. So I remember that one. I have pictures of it. My other memorable one is, I think the first Halloween I really remember, we were living in Toronto at this point in time. I was maybe 3, and I was, I believe, a clown for Halloween. Just a clown. But it's memorable to me because it was one of the, I think, the first ones I went trick-or-treating that I remember. Have you ever egged or toilet papered a house? No. Have you ever experienced any paranormal activity? I answered that one already. Yes, quite often at my friend's house. A couple other incidences, but it mainly centers around that house. Or, I think haunted stuff hangs around with this friend and I, because we have had many different paranormal experiences, and we could be driving in the car together and see what we think look like train lights while we're driving down the road, and there's no tracks to speak of or any lights that would do that down the road we're going, because we're doing back roads, and the train lights would be way up a hill that we can't even see. So, yes, we've had some paranormal activities. Are you scared of the dark? No. Not really. I mean, things go bump in the night. That happens. Like, I'm not scared if you turn off the lights. I'm scared to walk outside by myself at night. But that's just. Do you like carving pumpkins? Yeah, I do. We're not gonna get to do this here. I do have a video with a pumpkin in it, but we won't like be carving it, because we don't really have a front door. We won't really be having trick-or-treaters, so we're not doing that this year. My favorite thing about Halloween. Everything. I like the creepy, and I like the spooky, and I like the dressing up. And then integrating my own practices into the month. These, like, I love these little guys. Like, this is my only spider, but I have about 3 or 4 bats and a couple cats, black cats, and things like that, that I always get around Halloween time. This is my favorite Halloween decoration. My least favorite thing about Halloween, how commercialized it is, because, you know, it's made it into this goofy thing, and it's not pure enjoyment anymore. It's who has the best costume and who has the best party and things like that. I loved the pure enjoyment of going door to door and, like, comparing your candy to your best friends afterwards. Getting pillowcases full of candy and see how far you can walk. Do you believe in ghosts? Yes. Yes. I believe that the energy of a person can stay around and affect the environment that it was so greatly a part of, yes. So, anyway, that's all I have for you today, witches. Blessed be, and keep crafting, and enjoy your Halloween.